Down, out. What's up, everybody? You are tuned into the Elks Call, your home for Edmonton Elks fan talk. My name is Scout, aka the Rev from Section X.
And I'm Catherine, aka David Elks.
Coming to you live on Shotgun Sports Network with the replay airing exclusively on Edmonton Sports Talk. Kathy, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was good.
Nice.
I didn't have to cook because you did all the cooking.
Oh,
so
shucks.
Was it.
Making me blush.
So,
yeah, I mean,
great.
it is good. Thanksgiving is such a special time. Usually meaningful football is what you're hoping for, and luckily we got that too.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of Blue Jays on. Obviously, they're destroying the Mariners right now, 12-2 last time we saw it. So we're
thankfully
slightly tuned into that one as well. But yeah, overall, great Thanksgiving. It was great to have your company, the boys and the family. Smoked turkey. That was my first turkey. So I'm not going to hit the round of applause for myself. But anyways, yeah.
I would. That was delicious.
Oh, I think, okay. You said it. So. We have a very exciting show up ahead for everybody. We can't thank you enough for riding with us. Hit the like, subscribe, and favorite buttons to show some love because your support means everything to us here at Shotgun Sports Network. All right. Show schedule for today is as follows. We are going to open up with the Shotgun Sports news desk for the freshest news from, you guessed it, Shotgun Sports Network, and of course our pages as well. After that, we're going to give you Kathy's Herd Report, where we talk about the latest news, transactions, game, XYZ in Double E land. And then after that, we're going to give you an Edmonton Sports update, and then we're going to play some Green or Gold, our spin on Hot or Not. Finally, we're going to finish off this show with the Fan Forum. So it's a really exciting show today. I do think we have a couple of announcements. It's going to be a great time. Now, we are interactive, which means our viewers can comment and ask questions in the Herd chat if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. So please do so. But let's get this show rolling with some SSN news and announcements. Mm-hmm. This segment is brought to you by Royal Retros. Save 10% off your order by using code Shotgun Sports, all caps, no spaces. If you like throwbacks, you're going to love Royal Retros, CFLPA official merchandise, and CFL-inspired throwback gear as well. They are the throwback kings, so go check them out. All right, announcements, SSN. Mm-hmm. New article is up on shotgunsportsnetwork.ca, Edmonton Elks article that is, so go check it out. That is shotgunsportsnetwork.ca. And also a little announcement, SSN Alabama just covered an NBA exhibition game. That's Ryan Messer with Shotgun Sports Alabama. So big
massive.
Show. Massive.
Mm-hmm.
Our brand is covering the NBA. I think that's huge.
That's pretty cool.
Let's give Ryan Messer a big round of applause there. He's also been doing UAB, University of Alabama, Birmingham coverage as well. So he's making waves down there. Mm-hmm. He's making waves. You love to see it. All right, chili cook-off. I think this is something that everybody would like to talk about. What did you think of the chili cook-off?
It was good. It was a little bit slower than I think the last couple of years, but I think that was to be expected. Unfortunately, we're kind of tied to the CFL schedule. We got to work with a game that will work for everybody. I think the first year we had it a little bit early in the season. I think it was September that we ended up having the chili cook-off, and it was too hot for some people. They said that we should have waited to a colder game. So that left us with October, really. Yeah. And unfortunately, there were a few things there. You had the weather. It wasn't the best weather. Yeah. Oilers game later on during the day. Oh, yeah. And then, of course, long weekend, Thanksgiving weekend, and people are busy. So I think we had quite a few things against us, but it's still, people still turned out. It was still a really good event, and I had tons of fun.
It was a blast. We did have like 350 voters last year in the chili cook-off. Between rain, like you said, Oil Kings, and then Oilers kind of sandwiching in the Edmonton Elks on the schedule. And, honestly, this event is done best in October.
Yeah.
Maybe not Thanksgiving weekend. I really hope that we don't nail one of those. But because, people are traveling, people go spend the weekend with their families and, have their own plans. And then, of course, as we said, right, there was just a busy day. It was bad weather, adversity. This year we did have 170 voters. So a big shout out to everybody that showed up at Lot B for the Tailgate Chili Cook-Off. Also, a big round of applause to our sponsors. EST returned. All of our sponsors returned for this one. Gave us some coverage. K97, shout out those guys. Our judges, which Officer Jeff is part of K97 as well. So our judges, we had Katie in the park. We had Deanne. Is it Deanne? The Jennings?
Yes,
right?
Deanne.
So
Murph was supposed to join too, and I think he missed out.
Yes.
He was too busy serving his own people in his tailgate, so Deanne got to play around a little bit and taste all the chilies.
Well, and good for her. I mean, she's a past champion, so it was really
the
cool.
First year champion.
Yeah, and then Gary Dewar, defended his championship as well. So we got to see a title defense in that sense. We did get to see a better judges table format. Shout out you for organizing all of that and making sure people were coming in and bringing their chilies to the table at a proper time. Turf District, shout out them. They competed again as well, but they're going to be contributing on the prize pack and they've been promoting as well. So you need a barbecue, we're going to go get theirs. And of course, the Edmonton Elks provided a killer bunch of goods for us to distribute to winners. So it's
what's it? We have a jersey.
There's a jersey.
We have a Ricky Ray signed pictures with certificates of authenticity as well. Those two are going to go to the first to the judges vote. Tons of really good prices from EST as well. A wireless speaker,
Bluetooth speaker from EST.
I want it. I was like, no, can't do that.
Can't be skimming the prizes.
No. And then of course you need a barbecue, all the sauces, and a really good package there, and just a whole bunch of goodies as well from the Elks Turf District and ourselves.
Yeah.
And for the people's votes, we have a signed Trey Ford ball.
Yeah. So
once again with the certificate of authenticity.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely have we have quite a bit of goods for everybody, right? Or for the two winners, anyways. For the contestants, we do have something special planned for everybody. If you were part of this year's chili cook-off, everybody's going to go home with something. Something with a little bit of meaning, anyways. So we'll leave that as a surprise for the trophy presentation. But speaking of trophies and speaking of winners, should we announce our fan vote winner first?
We should. The one thing that I just want to mention before we go to that is that I was really blown away with the chilies that were presented. I didn't get to try a single one. And I was blown away by the complexity and the competition side and, the effort that everybody put in. And it wasn't your run-of-the-mill chili that people were presenting. You had all sorts of meat and mousse and fun little things and different techniques.
Totally. Some smoke, and the presentation factor as well. The speeches, the rundown that everybody gave on their chilies. Our judges asked questions. So, we tried to pick these things apart and really decide, who had the best chili. It was an overall blast despite the weather, right?
But that's the thing. I think it was very competitive, which is really, it was cool to see that people really took it seriously and they went all out and,
people actually cared about this, right? And that's why we do it. It's for the fans, from the fans, our motto at SSN, and, really Elks heard anything that we do. And to see people take it so seriously. Yes.
Sorry. Yes, I did try yours. Yeah, that was at the beginning, right at the beginning. What I meant is as everybody was trying the judging, I was too busy working to try any of them. But yes, I did try yours and it was really delicious. I think the only other one that I tried was the Dewars as well, right at the end, because I was hungry and I went begging.
And shout out to the Dewars for having enough too, because people did run out, right? Like Jason the Arcadian says here in the herd chat, I'm sorry we ran out. So, I mean, the chili went, people ate. And I think that there was a lot more than 170 people that actually had chili that day. So once again, for the fans, from the fans, can't thank everybody enough for participating. We will have something for everybody. So stay tuned for that. Are we good now? Do you want to do it?
No, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. The winner pardon me, the winner of the fan vote is Gary Dewar of Stall 160.
Yay!
So shout out Gary Dewar for getting the fan vote. Gonna have an awesome prize for you. So you did fantastic. Did a little bit of swaying there with your pairing, and we see that, we acknowledge that. You know, we might have to take a look at the rules again for next year and revisit that one. But bless you.
Woo, came out of nowhere.
But yeah, I mean, Gary Dewar did fantastic. You know, much like everybody else in serving it up, but he managed to get those votes, and big chunk out of the 170. Do we have the official tally?
No, with me.
Okay.
No, with me. But yeah, I mean, it's at the end of the day, the fan vote is a little bit like a popularity contest, right? In a bit. I mean, obviously, it has to do a lot with taste, but the really cool thing about the fan vote is that it's about the interactions as well with all the people that are walking by, and it's cool because we got tons of feedback from people just walking around and voting. They were like, "Oh, this is awesome! I'm having so much fun. This is great." Right, there was a lot of really, really positive feedback of the fact that people got to walk around in the tailgate and try out some chili.
Well, and that's what it's all about, is breaking down the barrier. You know, get people talking to one another in the tailgate, kind of building those relationships. It is a community, and that's why we do it. It is a community out there, and anybody's allowed to join the community, join the herd, as we say. So it's great to see that. Obviously, Gary Dewar did, you know, get those votes. Enough people voted for him. I believe it wasn't necessarily landslide.
No.
But he was up there by, you know, 10 to 20 votes or something. So fantastic job. He did great again. He did, you know, win another championship, but it wasn't quite the defense of the judges vote, the trophy, right? I know we kind of gave it away a little bit here. Obviously, we have a new champion, so let's go ahead and announce our 2025 Chili Cookoff champion. The winner of the judges' vote is Andrea and Jason of Stall 138.
Yay. Congratulations. I heard it was really good.
Yeah, it was actually. Now Pierre here in the herd chat, he said congrats, Gary. Pierre was one of our judges as well. He was pretty critical in his judging, and I mean, all of our judges were. I would say that was one of my favorites. I believe top 3 in my voting. I don't know exactly where that's at in there. I'd have to go ahead and count it off. But I will say that was a top-notch chili. It tasted the most like chili. Like it had the spices that you were looking for, you know? Like you needed those spices. It needed to have chili powder in it. It had to taste semi-traditional, but then with a spin or a little bit of elevation, you know? Yeah. And the presentation, I believe, Jason, I want to say, had just a chip.
Yep.
So it was just a chip for the +1 on there, or the presentation piece on this chili. It was good. It was just enough. And that's not discounting any of the homemade cornbread we saw.
Oh yeah, that was a big one. That was a hit from what a lot of people. I think a few people were walking by and they said that they were voting on the fan vote because of the cornbread.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
It honestly does matter, right? Yeah. Like what you use as a pairing for the chili certainly does matter. I mean, having something to pair it with is nice. Like having a chip, having something, right? Doesn't have to be a bun, doesn't have to be homemade, but those little touches add to the originality section of our voting matrix.
Yeah, no, so. And I was looking at the rubrics, and the judges were making notes. You know, they had the types of chilies that everybody they were making. They were noting everything that the contestants were saying. And the other really cool thing is when you were looking at the contestants, at the judges' rubrics, is that everything was fairly similar. Yeah. Like everybody had really consistent voting, which, you know, that just tells me that it was good choices for the judges as well.
Yeah, you know, we were pretty in line with how we voted. We recognized, you know, where these kind of rank. And at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure we all ate them all. Like, I was hurting the next day.
Except for me. I wanted to hurt, but I didn't.
No, you didn't want to hurt. My guts are still flipped, and the Blue Jays sausage I had the next day
Did not help.
Was the cherry on the gut ache problems, but cake anyways.
Mm.
But yeah, no, it was fantastic. I mean, once again, right? It's such a great fan event. The Edmonton Elks seem to be pretty happy. I mean, they were a partner or a sponsor in this event, so
yeah,
it was great to see them. You know, stoked to see everybody communicating and partying and engaging and eating chili. Like, you know, it's just a big old community event, and at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do here.
No, and you know what I noticed as I was walking around is that there's quite a few other people that had chili at their tables.
Yeah.
They weren't competing. I'm not sure if they wanted to be part of the fan vote, but there were still quite a few chilies around in the tailgate that day.
Yeah, it's a great day for chili, right?
Yeah,
it's a
sure
great day
was.
for chili. So fantastic. Now, I mean, I think we are kind of looking at a couple of options for next year. Obviously, the Chili Cookoff will be returning. For anybody else that's listening, watching, looking for this information, the Chili Cookoff will always be on the second last game, home game at Commonwealth Stadium on the regular season. So then that way, at the end of the season, the last game at Commonwealth Stadium, we'll always do the trophy presentation.
Yep.
So, and I think this year we may have an upgraded version of the trophy. I still need to get a hold of Mirabel. I'll write that down actually. But yeah, I mean, I think we're looking at an upgraded version of the trophy, and then of course going into next year, maybe looking at a committee, maybe looking at, you know, opening it up and maybe doing another event like this, so that it's not just the Chili Cook-Off. Maybe we have a best barbecue competition or something like that.
Yeah.
So this kind of like breeds more events, you know, in the tailgate. More community activations between fans, and that's all that we're trying to do. I mean, we also recognize that we can only do so much.
Yes.
And if we want to expand this, we kind of got to have a committee, right? So,
oh, yes, of course. And the Elks are definitely on board, which is really cool.
Yeah.
They definitely want to make this event bigger next year. So
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see how it turns out next year.
Well, and it's great to see the Edmonton Elks also engage us and engage, you know, our members as well and people in the tailgate for a variety of reasons. You know, Michelle Jones goes by and says hi to everybody before the game. This last time F swung by, also saw Michelle as well, but F and the crew from the Edmonton Elks, and you know, they're great people. They're trying to up the community involvement as well, and this is one of those things.
Yeah.
If you want to build a community, well then, you know, you have these events and you build that camaraderie and you break down the barriers. So
well, that's exactly it. I mean, when you're allowing passerbys to just engage and be part of it, I think that's pretty massive, and it doesn't happen enough. So if there's at least one event a year that people get to do that, that's pretty cool.
Totally. And big shout out to Dave McKinnon, former burger cook-off champion. The only one of its kind so far. Yeah. Which who knows? Maybe maybe we'll be in the mix for that one next year. But Dave McKinnon he had a cast iron pot, the Dutch oven. Yeah, that was pretty cool, Dave. I wasn't expecting that. I went around getting everybody a bowl of chili, and Dave's like, "No, I'm bringing the whole pot." Yeah, and that's part of the presentation piece, right? Walking in with that gets you huge marks in the originality section of the rubrics, right, of the judging. So yeah, and I mean it was a blast. It was a blast. You know, our fellow fans don't have to compete in this either, so it takes all of us. We'll be sure to do it again. Can't thank everybody enough, and like we said, we will have something for all participants. So yes, yeah, and thank you, Pierre, in the herd chat. Appreciate it. Thank you for the compliment. It's because of you guys. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to everybody. Yeah. Shout out to the viewers. Shout out to the listeners. Shout out to everybody that participated. Shout out to Elks fans, because I think that we have some pretty bright days ahead of us now at long last. Even if the playoff situation may not pan out, at least they're actually doing well. And let's talk about it in a moment. Yeah, let's do that. All right, let's get into Kathy's Herd Report, where we talk about recent news, transactions, and everything else. Today's Herd Report is brought to you by the Rouge, White, and Blue podcast. Oz and Joe have you covered on the latest happenings in the CFL from across multiple borders. Americans talking Canadian football. Rouge, White, and Blue only on Shotgun Sports. All right.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
let's talk about the game.
Let's talk about this game. This was a good one.
It was a good game. I think there were a few things here and there, but all I care about is that we have 4 home wins, and we haven't seen that for a little while.
You haven't seen that?
2019, I read that was the last time that we had a stretch like that for home wins.
You haven't seen this?
I have not. No.
No,
usually by this, you know what? Usually by this time of the season, in the past few years, it's been like, yeah, well, we're done. We're just showing up just to show up, not necessarily because there's
any implications.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
And I think what's interesting is, you take a look at last year and where we're at right now, the Elks were out.
Mm-hmm. They were.
The 2 years previous, they were out well before.
Yes.
Like basically by the end of Labor Day or in between Labor Day and October, right? We haven't seen the team progress like this in so long.
And the crazy thing is that even though, there is a very high chance that we don't make it all the way, there's still a chance.
There's still a chance.
And that's the crazy part of it, right? So that just tells you how the team is progressing, and hopefully it just continues to progress until next year. So, but let's talk about this particular game. Let's start with the first quarter. It really wasn't a bad start. Definitely would have liked to see the first drive go past a quick turnover announce, but at least Winnipeg's.
Real.
Wow. Listen, you gave me like a triple, so that's what's happening.
Nobody
here.
clipped that one. That's good.
Winnipeg's first drive stalled deep in their own end after a sack by Jared Brinkman. Woo, forcing them to punt out of trouble. See, now I'm blushing, and that's just me. I don't just butcher players' names. I butcher.
No, that was a good one. I like it.
Anyways, Edmonton had a chance to take the lead midway through the quarter, but Vincent Blanchard's 43-yard field goal attempt went wide.
Yeah.
Leading to a big return from Winnipeg that swung momentum the other way. Yeah. So I'm going to blame the wind on that. It was really windy.
It was very, very windy at Commonwealth Stadium. Yeah. So
Sergio Castillo, though, he did have himself a 28-yard field goal for the game's first points. And the Elks answered with a 37-yard bomb for Fajardo to Keon Julian Grant that set up Blanchard's redemption kick from 35 yards to tie the game 3-3.
Redemption, and he needed it.
Yeah. Winnipeg, however, they did begin another promising drive at the end of the quarter. They moved efficiently into Edmonton's territory. But that second quarter, it didn't start too good.
No, it was not. It was not a great start.
No, Winnipeg asserted control on offense early on with a touchdown.
Yeah.
But Edmonton responded in kind with a determined no huddle drive, relying heavily on Justin Rankin.
Yeah.
Small gains that moved the chains downfield slowly but surely, with a 14-play drive that ate up a solid chunk of the quarter.
And it's interesting. So Cody Fajardo was saying today, it was either today in the media avails or recently after this game, that he believes that 14-play drive was a major factor in their turnaround.
It was fantastic. It was great to see. I don't think we've seen that type of drive this entire season.
Not in a while, no. And that's what I've been saying this whole time. When we're sitting in the seats at Commonwealth Stadium, I'm like, come on, guys, go on a nice long drive here. Take the ball down, but use legs, use a little bit of air.
Yeah.
However, you got to move this ball, but just do it slowly as opposed to explosion.
Well, and the thing is, if they're going to overutilize Justin Rankin, at least do it smartly.
Yeah.
Right. Make sure that you're moving him in a way that you can still move the chains down the field.
Yeah.
Right. That you're getting those first downs instead of just killing the play.
Well, exactly.
Because you're not able to move forward. Right. So Justin Rankin was heavily utilized in this game.
Which, I mean, you take a look at his stats.
Of course.
Which it makes sense why they are using Justin Rankin
but
so
then
much.
It becomes predictable.
And that's the problem with it.
Right? It's people know to cover him.
Yeah.
The opposition knows to cover him. So it's one of those situations that if you're going to overutilize it, do it smartly.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're changing things around here and there so that you're at least getting those first downs.
And keeping it fresh,
And
yes.
yeah, but after that, Cody Fajardo did cap off the possession with a 4-yard touchdown scramble to tie the game 10-10 after Blanchard successfully got the cover point. The highlight of the remaining of the quarter was when Colares threw an interception
Right
to
to
Elks
JJ.
defense to JJ Ross.
JJ Ross.
He returned it deep into Bomber territory to set up a scoring chance. However, Vincent Blanchard's 33-yard field goal attempt sailed wide again.
For a Rouge to finish off
Yeah.
that half,
A
right? And
Rouge.
at least we were sent into halftime with a lead, even though it was
It was a 1-point lead, but it was a lead nonetheless.
a lead is a lead. I will take any lead.
But I mean, even then, it was tight at
Yeah.
that point. You didn't know how this game was going to go.
No.
Elks were playing well. They had solid offense by this point. Defense was not long enough in the field, which was great during
they
the
weren't
second
staying in
quarter.
the field
but
for
at
quite
least,
long enough.
but maybe that's what gave them the upper hand in the third and fourth to
Yeah.
make sure that they kept Winnipeg down.
Well, and I mean, they definitely locked it down in the fourth. The third was great for many reasons. But it's
Yes.
great to see the defense playing well.
Mhm.
They have elevated their game despite injuries.
Mhm.
And that's
Yes.
what you need to see from this team. You need to see guys rise up in the next man up situation and scenario.
That's what, like, even at the end of this game, especially after the fourth, we'll get to it, but the fourth was a 0 scoring
Mhm.
quarter for the Elks. But seeing the defense play like they did in this particular game, it makes you forget that you don't have some of the bigger names playing. Like when you
Yeah,
forget
no, you're
that
right.
Jake Seresna's not in it,
Or Nick Anderson.
Well,
Yeah, like our linebackers, once again, and we've said it on the show before,
Yeah.
the linebackers right now are stacked. Brock Mogensen killing it right now. Shaylin Garnes not doing too bad. Like these guys are holding those positions well, and you got Nick
Yeah.
Anderson and Niles Morgan sideline.
Yes.
Niles Morgan obviously out for the season, but Nick Anderson, he's
That-
potentially coming
probably.
back soon. We'll see what happens with this depth
He-
chart tomorrow morning.
Yeah, but it's interesting. It's really good to see, especially when some of those bigger names are still injured, unfortunately. But the fact that the Elks just keep pushing through without them, it's a really, really good sign.
Love to see it.
Going into the third quarter, as you say, the third quarter was huge for the Elks. Early in the quarter, Justin Rankin broke loose for a spectacular 64-yard touchdown run, giving Edmonton a 2-score advantage.
Huge.
Massive.
And we wanted to hold that for the tiebreak.
Of course. After that, it was a big back and forth affair with teams trading punts.
Field position.
Yeah, midway through the quarter, however, special teams turned the tide further in Edmonton's favor.
Yeah.
After a fumble on a punt return, defensive back Cordell Jackson recovered the loose ball and ran it all the way back for a defensive touchdown.
That's a straight horn.
That's cool.
Like that was
You
amazing.
don't see those very often.
Not very often at all. I
Yeah.
mean, and especially too, that was fumbled from the arms of, I forget the player. It was either Arkell Smith, Javon Leake, somewhere in there, right? Special teams returning.
Mm-hmm.
And the Edmonton Elks fumbled it.
Mm-hmm.
And KJ comes in, scooped the ball.
He scooped the ball.
He scooped the ball and he got that thing into the end zone. And to
Yes.
get a scoop and score is just amazing. We haven't seen it in a hot minute. You love to see it.
Yeah.
And
It was fun. It's one of those plays that you don't expect that just adds to the excitement of the game.
But that's your special teams, your third
course.
phase making a major impact, right?
course.
Despite adversity.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you need to see. Despite adversity, this team is starting to rise above.
Yes.
And that's what makes them dangerous right now. I would love nothing more than for them to finish this off this season.
Take it all the way. And
take it all the
listen,
way.
they could. They could.
Technically, they can. I mean, BC's going to be the biggest task, but
But
we do
like,
have-
we thought of that too with Winnipeg.
yeah.
And
But Winnipeg is also floundering at times, and they're
They
struggling.
do.
But BC Lions right now are peaking at the right time.
Yeah.
Like they are.
But who's not to say that BC Lions can't have an off game? That Nathan Rourke can't have an off night.
Any given Sunday.
Any given.
Or Saturday or
game.
Friday.
You never know. You never know. But anyways, and although the Bombers finally responded with a late field goal from Sergio Castillo to narrow the gap, Edmonton finished the quarter with firm command. So that was good. As I mentioned, though, the fourth quarter, it surely fell on the defense.
Yeah.
There was a 0 score from the Elks, but still enough to secure the win. Edmonton had control to start. This is when it started getting interesting. We had a holding penalty that stopped momentum. They had to punt the ball away. It was followed by an unnecessary roughness penalty. That should have helped Winnipeg, but thankfully defense held them enough for Kenny Logan Jr. to intercept Zach Collaros.
Once again.
But another unfortunate, unnecessary roughness penalty moved the chains back, and the Elks were not able to capitalize.
Well, was that the low block?
It was one of those. This was like the quick succession of penalties on Edmonton that everybody was like, "This is bull."
Well, and here's the problem, right? Because yes, there was some questionable calls on the night. Mm-hmm. I have it on record. It's at the Elks Herd. Can't deny my immediate reaction after the game, right? I mean, from where we were sitting, looking at the Jumbotron, couldn't necessarily tell, but I mean, it looked like a face mask, and everybody was booing. So there was that one near the end of the fourth. But then the low block, what is the player supposed to do? If anything, it looks like he fell. But he's also still trying to make a play at the same time. He gets nailed for it. And I think like late flags was one of the most frustrating part, right? Well, we saw a lot of late flags for whatever reason.
Dave Campbell himself on X, he said, this was a very poorly officiated game with phantom calls galore.
Yeah, see, phantom calls. Thank you. I said that as well.
Yeah, it's like, where are these coming from? What is this? Right?
Which is weird.
It was very frustrating.
If Dave Campbell's saying that, then we can't be wrong.
No, it was, even if on the replay you would have seen it, it was a lot of instances that you were like, what the hell is going on? Mm-hmm. Like, and the unfortunate part of that is that it also kills momentum.
Totally.
A lot.
Game
right?
flow, yeah.
Right after that, Winnipeg got another touchdown, which killed the hopes of the Elks being able to win by 14 points, the 14 points that they needed.
Yeah.
But Edmonton's defense, they responded with poise. They repeatedly forced punts, and they stopped Winnipeg's late attempts to mount a comeback and seal the hard-fought victory of 25-20. So, I mean,
I'll take it. A home win is a home win, despite the fact that the Double E needed to win by 14 points in order to own the tiebreaker. Now, still hope with that, because if Winnipeg, Edmonton, and say BC or Calgary ends up tying, it's a 3 or 4 way scenario at 9-9. There's a weird system there where I think, and nobody quote me on it, but it would end up being like BC, Edmonton, Calgary, and then Winnipeg in fifth. So I don't know. That's from the way I saw it. If all 4 teams tie, that's the way it would work based on wins against Western opponents.
So what we need is the Elks to win the last games and everybody else to lose.
Pretty much.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Still doable.
It is doable. I mean, there's 3 other teams that you're up against in this competition to stay alive in the playoff run. And, I mean, I will say the Edmonton Elks, I think, have less than 10% chance to make it to the playoffs, right? Forget the exact percentage. I did see it earlier, but
of course,
yeah, very dismal. But there is a chance. The dreams are not killed yet.
I'll take it. I'll take that 10%.
And the win against Winnipeg really matters the most.
Yeah.
The win on its own at Commonwealth Stadium, 4th win at home in a row, as we've said. Mm-hmm. Major milestone night. Haven't beat Winnipeg since 2018 when Michael Riley was the quarterback.
Oh my gosh. We know what that means. Everybody drank. Scout mentioned Michael Riley.
Yeah, we did it. Had to. But seriously, that's the last quarterback, I think, for the Double E that beat Winnipeg. And could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm pretty darn sure that's what the stat is.
Yeah.
So it's been way too long since this team has beat Winnipeg. It's great to get the monkey off the back. They can run with anybody right now.
Yeah.
Like
You
they
never know.
and
So
they
you never
could
know.
they could potentially beat BC here. So I don't know. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a moment.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, there were a lot of goods in this game. Rankin, he carried the ball a CFL career high 18 times for 138 rushing yards.
Huge.
OJ Hilaire led Edmonton with 5 receptions. So it was a good game. It was a good game. I think there were a few things here and there that could have made it better, of course, but just like any game.
Well, and OJ Hilaire, I will say that's 5 receptions on 10 attempts. So he caught 50% of his balls. Obviously, good coverage on him. But at the same time, we're looking for somebody as fans, and I'm sure the organization's looking as well. They're looking for somebody to get up and get those 50-50 balls.
Yeah.
And so far, having a hard time finding that.
Yes.
Like Keon Julian Grant, I think, is Stephen Dunbar Jr., if he was healthy, sure, he would probably be that guy right now. But Keon Julian Grant, he can do that.
Well, we have other Curly Giddens
Jr. Like, why is he not getting the ball more? Like, is it, I don't know, coverage maybe? Maybe he's just being covered that well.
Yeah. I
haven't looked at the field and tried to. I haven't figured out that part with Curly Giddens Jr. anyways. Because, I mean, obviously we're looking for Rankin, seeing what his coverage is.
Yeah.
There's certain players you're looking for that, right?
Yeah.
Curly Giddens Jr., I will say, a little bit more invisible.
Yeah. He hasn't. We haven't talked about him as much as we should have, of course. I think we were talking more about him with Trey Ford. I think that was his number one receiver.
Well, besides Zach Mathis. When Zach Mathis is healthy.
Yeah.
So, I think you're onto something.
Transactions, there haven't been any transactions as far as I know. I know the last one that we talked about is still not on the website, so I'm not sure what's happening there. Injuries, we do have a few. Nick Anderson was marked as questionable today with his abdominal injury.
Interesting.
The questionable, not a no, though.
Not a no.
The same thing with DK Bonhomme and Greg Eland. He is available. He's back. But Tamari Fox, Jonathan Pokongbo are both doubtful.
Yeah.
Still no knows.
Yeah.
And TJ Luther with a hamstring injury is out.
Out. Kongbo, I think that was expected because he ended up going down in that last game, right? So I think it was a little bit expected that he would not be in this game. I know he was out there practicing, and he's technically not ruled out yet, but doubtful. Usually when you see doubtful, just expect those guys to be out.
Yeah. So
that means that we're not going in the most beat up. I mean, the Edmonton Elks certainly got a chance here. They're relatively healthy. Obviously, we got the guys on the six game, but wide receiver right now, I think, is like the weakest spot.
Yeah. And even then, I mean, there's some flashes of brilliance in there, of course. So what's next? Friday, October 17th, Edmonton versus BC Lions at 8:30 p.m. Mountain.
Very exciting. Huge game. Huge game. No doubting, right? This is going to be a massive one. Going into the Lions Den, it's Western night out at BC Place. So they're doing great with their promotions. Hopefully they get a nice big crowd in there, right? That's what you'd like to see.
Yeah.
What
do you think on this one?
Yeah, it's like I'm hoping that BC does not post 40, 50 on the Edmonton Elks. But the Edmonton Elks defense has been getting better. JC Sherritt's schemes have been improving. His schemes have been improving quite a bit when you compare to, the defensive schemes at the beginning of the year, trying to mesh things together. This is why in football you need time.
Yeah.
Right. So they've found their identity. Do I think that the defense will contain Nathan Rourke or intercept him? I'd like to see at least one interception.
Yeah, that's, when it comes to the player to watch, that's what I was going to say. Either JJ Ross or a little bit more Kenny Logan Jr., because we've seen a little bit of that quite often in the last few games, either for interceptions or, so.
I want to say JJ Ross has 3 interceptions in the last 4 games. So that's huge.
So there's going to be a guy that has to intercept Nathan Rourke. It's going to be JJ Ross.
Maybe. Could be Tyrell Ford, maybe.
I hope so. I'm like, we haven't seen enough of Tyrell Ford.
He was on the
This-
highlight reel
for the wrong
for the wrong
things,
reasons,
for the wrong
yeah.
reasons.
But yeah, no, player to watch for this one. Yeah. Yeah, because I think Justin Rankin might struggle against BC.
Mm-hmm.
Cody Fajardo is looking for a comeback game.
Maybe they need to go back to the beginning when they were overutilized in Justin Ranking, but as a receiver.
No, well, I'm sure he's going to get some looks because he's had looks in almost every game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't want to do the cop-out Cody Fajardo, but I kind of want to as well because I think that this is going to be a little bit more of a shootout. As in, the offense is going to be struggling against defense. Offense is going to be struggling against defense.
He's going to have to do something.
Well, best quarterback on the day wins.
Yeah.
I think is what this is going to come down to.
And I think for that, it's going to have to rely on the passing, not necessarily the rushing.
Exactly. So I will go Cody Fajardo for once on this, and he's got some confidence. He's got a little bit of swagger, but his last game was bad.
Yeah, he didn't have the best game.
But the team won, so now he's got to put the team on his back. You know what I mean? This is Cody Fajardo is going to be an X factor in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to have to be.
Yeah.
He's going to have
But you
to
can't
be,
get away with bad quarterback play against the
No.
BC Lions. Their defense is playing well. Their offense is playing well. Their offense is explosive. Nathan Rourke is playing some of the best football in his career right now.
Mhm.
I am terrified, if I may be honest. You know, what am I looking for in terms of a score? Yeah, like I'm not that confident in our offense. But I'm confident in our defense. So I don't want to go like 30-27. Like I'm thinking I'd love to see 25-23 or 25-22 or something like that.
So
yeah, we're gonna go lower.
Fine.
Take the under 50, right? Take the under,
Please
maybe.
do. Don't make this into one of those.
Hey, we don't have any betting sponsors or partners or anything, so don't got to worry about that. But I will say that this may be lower scoring. If it isn't, it's because BC achieves those explosive passing plays, maybe not even rushing, but passing plays against the Edmonton Elks. And I am worried about that. And I think that our DBs give those up too often.
Mm-hmm.
If they get an interception early, then that will kind of slow down the offense, right? Or if they make some major plays such as sacks, bat down some balls, do something impactful on defense. You know, obviously 3 and outs are nice too. So
yeah.
I want to see the defense stand tall in this one. I want to see the defense shut down Nathan Rourke, but I also want to see Cody Fajardo do his job out there.
Yes.
And be impactful.
Gonna have to. We do have a few comments here in the chat. The one that I want to bring up first is from Ricky Ironhammer. Imagine the crowd for the last game if they pull it off in BC.
That would be huge.
Would be.
Against Calgary, if they still have a chance coming back home next week, oh my Lord.
Yeah.
I think that we would see potentially a 30K again. Yeah. Potentially. And it is cold, but it is
and it's Calgary too. So
Battle of Alberta.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Chris over here in the chat says, how many Double E fans are temporary Saskatchewan fans on Friday?
Well, and the painful part about that is that Saskatchewan is now resting Trevor Harris.
Well, yeah, I mean they're in.
Yeah.
They don't have a reason to play him until.
But that's bad for the Edmonton Elks because we need Saskatchewan to win.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? Like and Winnipeg, it's I believe that's the Winnipeg matchup.
Right.
So this is
is it for sure? They said that they were going to rest him?
Yeah. They've already announced, So
that's unfortunate.
The Edmonton Elks have that one against them, and then the Calgary Stampeders and Toronto Argonauts game. We need the Argonauts to win. The Argonauts don't really have much to play for anymore. So the odds are stacked against the Double E, ladies and gentlemen. The odds are stacked against the green and gold. And it's going to be a rough path to get there. All starts Friday night, obviously, with the Edmonton Elks versus BC Lions.
Yeah.
If the Elks don't win, then it's all pretty much for nothing anyway.
Yeah.
So
they might as well just have fun.
No. Win.
Just kidding. No, it's all about
Might
winning.
as well
They better win.
Better get the win. But yeah, no, very good. And then, of course, for the last home game as well, I know I didn't mention it earlier, we do a trophy presentation with for the chili cook-off for the champion. So last home game of the year against Calgary, we will send out all of the details surrounding it. But, on that day, we will be doing a trophy presentation with hopefully all of the competitors all around as well. So everybody will get to see each other and then, of course, collect the participation award as well. So, yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. Alrighty. I think we got ourselves a little Edmonton Sports update. Your 7-9 Edmonton Elks defeated the Winnipeg Blue Bombers by a score of 25-20 last Saturday. They are heading into BC Place to face the Lions this Friday in an attempt to keep their playoff dreams alive. Kickoff in BC is at 8:30 p.m. Mountain. The 2025 Edmonton Elks Tailgate Chili Cookoff happened last Saturday before the Edmonton Elks game. Presented by Edmonton Sports Talk, the Turf District, United Barbecue, the Edmonton Elks, and ourselves at the Elks Herd, the Chili Cook-Off fed the fans. Congratulations to Gary Dewar and Andrew and Jason on their wins in this big event. The U of A Golden Bears have struggled through this season, posting only one win through 6 games. They hope to secure an elusive win against the Regina Rams this Saturday at Foot Field. Kickoff is at 2 p.m. Mountain. The 7-2 Edmonton Oil Kings are on a roll. They'll continue their campaign tonight against the Portland Winterhawks at Rogers Place. Puck drop was at 7 p.m. Mountain. Your Edmonton Oilers shut out the New York Rangers last night by a score of 2-0 in the Big Apple. They'll head to Nassau Coliseum to face that's not Nassau Coliseum, by the way.
Oh.
Forget the name of that arena, but to face the New York Islanders, yes. They head to the island to face the Islanders tomorrow night. Puck drop is at 5:30 p.m. Mountain. And don't forget that Love Pro Wrestling has events every month with their next event featuring the Clandestine Wrestling Society on October 23rd. And then the main event on October 24th. With tickets as low as $10, you don't want to miss out. We're the Elks Herd. You're up to date. That was a good one. Yeah, I know that they got a new arena. I should have looked into it. I don't know why. I'm just, when you get too old and you think that everything was like 10 years ago, and you're like, oh, they changed that? Maybe that's how Americans felt about the Double E changing their name a couple of years ago. Oh, they changed that? Yeah, getting old.
That's so funny.
Getting old. My bad. Mick Aussie in the herd chat. I should have told you the cricket results for the finals here 2 to 3 weeks ago for your sports update. EdmontonCricket.tv. Shout out to Creator Co-op on Shotgun Sports Network. Mick Aussie is a part of that. Always great times. Great to see you at the Chili Cook-Off and home games and sometimes away games, Mick. Mm-hmm. Good to see you also in the herd chat. Good to see everybody in the herd chat tonight. We're the Elks Herd. You're rocking with us on the Elks Call. Shoot us a like, subscribe, favorite, all that good stuff while you are here right now. What else do we got in the herd chat? Anything else?
No.
All right.
Not for now.
All right. Well, then let's do some green or gold. Let's play a game. All right. And I was supposed to get you a picture, and I did not. No.
Okay.
Green or Gold is brought to you by the new Edmonton Oil Kings fan hub, The Royal Line. Cody and Len bring you their fan-sided coverage from outside the rink. You can find them at The Royal Line on most social media platforms. All right, green or gold, we're going to bring up a topic or item, and if you like it, you are going to vote gold. And if you don't like it, you're going to vote green. Herd chat, you know what to do. Throw your vote into the herd chat to have your voice heard. H-E-R-D, heard.
H-E-R-D. No.
Heard. Heard.
This is my dyslexia coming in.
All right, everybody. Green or gold. All right. The exclusive $10 campus clash scarf. Did you see it?
I saw a picture. I'm gonna say green.
You're saying green.
Yeah. I'm saying green because I think that for students it should have been free.
Interesting.
I mean, it's one of those things. Like when you have so many scarves, or you're able to buy so many scarves, do you
Right.
really need another scarf, especially when it's $10?
I get it.
Right? If they wanted to do something for the students, maybe do something like $5 exclusive shots, or $5 exclusive drinks, which I think they did have.
They did.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously it's nice, but if I feel like that's something that perhaps the team could have done for free if you bought a certain ticket or something.
I'll agree with that. I think maybe even $5. Like if you bought
Yeah.
a ticket, maybe you get this at a discount. I'm still gonna vote gold. So I think that any sort of exclusive merchandise is great. If it's double E's, I want it.
So exclusive meant that you absolutely had to be a student to get one of those.
No, I think it was just for the event. Like just for the game.
See, then it's not exclusive.
But it is, because it's just for the game. It's
But
one
it's
time
not just
only.
for students. It's not the campus clash, right? I mean,
let me see the details. Like,
either way, I mean, sure,
Anybody
they
can
have
get
an
them.
exclusive item not an exclusive. They have an item of the game every single time. That a specific item at the merch stores or at
Do
the
they?
concessions is heavily discounted.
Okay, but that's different. That's like,
Yeah.
here's what we're trying to hawk on you
Yeah.
for this game. This is, we are specially making this for the game. And I think that's cool. Because what if they had something special, just like the cards, the Kids Club cards?
Sure.
What if they had an item that you could buy every time, or buy once per game, but every game that you go to, there's something new?
Yeah.
I think that.
Well, but that's the thing, because this is a campus clash that it says on the scarf, campus clash.
Right.
Would you, as a non-student, buy one of those?
Well, I didn't, but I mean, I still like it. I like the concept and the idea, but I'm trying to pigeonhole me here. No, Jamie Fadoon here in her chat. What up, Jamie? And thank you very much for another awesome set of programs from Winnipeg. Thank you so much. Gold. Sorry your team didn't get the win, but thank you very much for voting today with a little gold. He likes the campus clash scarves. Ken Shapka. Gold. Love any new double E stuff, baby. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, Ken. That's what I'm talking about. Chris, cheap scarves, cheap shots for a college crowd. No, thank you.
I mean, I was just saying, I would have bought the $5 shot of Fireball on a cold day.
Cheap shot. Okay, yeah.
I would have. It was a cold day.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's nice. It's nice. I just feel like if it was specific for the event, it should have been free or cheaper for the students. Only make it exclusive for the students so that they feel like they want to buy it. Or maybe not put campus clash on the scarf and make it more generalized so that everybody can buy it.
But that's what makes it part of the game, the event, the theme that day, right?
Yeah. No, you know what? You're right. You're right. I mean, it's one of those. Listen, I don't wear scarves, but because of the cold and the wind, if I actually did enjoy wearing scarves, I probably would have gotten one at $10. So yeah.
You said it. But you're still green.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm gonna stick to it.
I tried. All right. Next topic here on Green or Gold. Everybody, thank you for getting your votes in. Chris, I do see yours. You did vote gold here. Let's gold on that last one. Gold for the idea. Maybe some freebies would have been nice, but a price does add exclusivity. Okay, thank you.
It isn't just a freebie. Yeah, that's right. You're true. Yeah, I agree with that.
I like it. Now, coinciding with this was a fall football game. So green or gold, everybody, fall football games.
I'm like in between because I hate being cold, but I enjoy a fall game.
Yeah.
But I hate being cold.
Yeah.
So it's like it's an interesting experience because when you go watch a hockey game, it doesn't matter if it's winter, summer, fall, spring.
The arena's still chilly.
The arena will be chilly and is still indoors.
Yeah.
But when it's an outdoors game, like there's something about a snowy game too. I think it's a cool experience, so I'm gonna say gold. but gold. But I'm still going to be resentful of the weather when it's too cold.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, and like I'm gonna say gold because all football games are my favorites. I love it, well, except for the ones that we lose. But any time of year, if it's football, I'm there. Fall usually indicates playoffs. So to have meaningful fall football right now is truly a treat when we haven't had it for like 5-6 years.
Not necessarily, because they're still going to finish off the season whether they're going to lose or win.
No,
so
but
we have seen when fall games,
but not
when
meaningful.
No. So, but what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter whether it's fall or not.
Yeah.
That what makes it meaningful at that point is the fact that they're winning. But the fall game is still going to happen.
Yeah, no,
it just adds to the happiness. You're just not sitting there being miserable, knowing that they're done when there's a hope and you have that excitement to
you're cheering for the regular season and cheering for the game itself as opposed to major implications, right? That's where fans cheer harder. That's where our Edmonton fans right now are doing fantastic, despite 15,013 if I may be exact, with that game on Saturday. Despite a smaller crowd still gets some noise out there. They still produce the noise, right?
I think it's a cool experience. I just don't like it when it's too cold. I don't mind, like, we've been to a very snowy game. It might have been 2 years ago or something that there was snow on the ground. And I liked that game. It was really cool. It wasn't so cold because it wasn't windy.
Right.
It was doable. You were still chilly, but it wasn't crazy. Like, when the wind gets entered into the equation, it just sucks.
Well, and the problem with this one too, this last game, was that it was windy, wet, and cold, right? So I mean, there's no solace anywhere. The weather wasn't going to magically turn around. It did actually kind of get warmer by the end of the game, which was kind of crazy, but still feels like -1 and -3, I believe I saw on the Weather Channel. So let's take a look here at the herd chat. Gold for cold, baby. I love it. Let's go.
Gold for cold.
Gold for cold, man.
Mick Hossey does say the wind sure made it cold, plus we're not used to it this time of the year. So I think that's what I said. It's like, I'm not used to it yet. Too. So it makes it extra cold.
I was wearing 2 jackets looking like the Stay Puffed Man out there. It was it was dire weather, dire times out there. October football, gold.
From Pierre Barrett.
Love it.
From Chris over here.
Gold. Fall is playoff prep time. It is a great reminder of the season, autumn, that brings championship football season. That's exactly it. Usually when you're watching football like this and the weather gets tougher, the seats get a little bit harder, and the games are just a lot more meaningful because you do have something on the line, and you as a fan, you want to see your team punch the ticket. So it is a reminder that this is coming up on championship Grey Cup times here. The playoffs are about to start here in a couple weeks, so we're in our second last week of regular season. Second last game for the Double E. It's that time of year. Last week's game was about as cold as it gets, rainy and humid and wind, and it's the humidity. It gets to your bones and you're like
yes, but it was still a fun game. But I don't mind those games. I think they're cool. It's a cool experience. Either way.
I agree. Totally agree. Let's close off Green or Gold. Thank you very much, everybody, for participating in another lovely edition of Green or Gold. Now, Jamie Fadoon here in the Her Chat. I will bring up this question, I think, in the fan forum, because I think we have a little bit of extra time today.
Well,
a little bit.
We all know that as soon as 10 hits, I start yawning. So let's make that the goal.
See what we can do here. But got lots of folks on the stream. Can't thank you enough for watching tonight. It's always a blast. Hey, that's why I said I think we got a little bit of time, because we got some great combos, great questions, great comments in the Herd Chat. So can't wait to dig into our next segment. Let's do it. All right. We had to bring back the fan favorite. It is the fan forum, which is brought to you by the Argos Fancast. Join Clay, Will, and Sir Doug as they give you the latest from Argos Land right here on Shotgun Sports Network. All right, in this segment, we will talk about the hottest topics surrounding the Edmonton Elks and the CFL as a whole. Herd Chat for the last time tonight. You know what to do. Blow it up. Get your comments and questions onto the show. We'll be taking in some questions, so we'll round table it here with everybody in the herd chat. Let's open it up. We are officially opening up this fan forum. Okay. Question number 1, and this is a big one this week that has popped up, and I will say that there has been development since you and I talked about it last night. So let's dig into this one.
Okay.
The Winnipeg Grey Cup Committee has found themselves in the crosshairs. For the last few days, fans have been upset over the lack of communication in regards to the 3-day social and concert package. While sales did eventually resume today, the committee is also taking heat for failing to communicate properly, as well as the lack of Grey Cup halftime show announcement, the lack of that announcement specifically. Do fans have the right to be concerned? And is this a bad look for Winnipeg and the Grey Cup Festival Committee?
Yeah. Yes. Because regardless of whether the sales resumed, the fact that they allowed the people to freak out for a whole 24 hours before they were like, oh, sorry, here they are. It's not a good look. That's just a simple answer. It's just not a good look. So whether it was intentional, and after seeing all the feedback, they decided that it was a really bad marketing idea and they needed to do something about it and open up the sales again, or whether it was just really heavy miscommunication, it's either way, it's a really bad look.
Well, and I think what's interesting about this, like, obviously there's a couple pieces here. First of all, you sell out of social passes that used to be able to be bought or purchased on the day of. Fans, CFL fans, used to be able to walk up, buy their social pass ticket for the day and be able to go into the team rooms, which is at bare minimum. That's what we did last year.
Of course.
We didn't go to any luncheons. We didn't do any.
We bought it ahead of time simply for the reason that we were buying everything ahead of time.
Yes.
But it was one of, and all, the other reason why we bought it ahead of time is because I had never been to a Grey Cup, and it was a matter of experiencing everything that it gave. Right. So we were like, let's get the 3-day pass. Yeah. You save some money, get to experience it the way that we should, and that'd be it. Well, but there's a lot of people that will not do that they have gone to Grey Cups and they decide that maybe they are going to wait until the event and buy tickets for a specific day. And now that was gone.
So what they've done now is they did bring back, obviously, the ability to purchase the 3-day pass, and now they're offering the single-day passes.
Right.
But even if this is a marketing gimmick, that's terrible business. Because you are alienating fans. It's almost like what? Like almost like gaslighting or something. Like it's toxic. It's toxic.
Well, I do want to bring this comment from Chris because it's something that he was told by the Bombers office today, that he was pissed about the fact that game ticket purchasers had first dibs on passes.
But here's what's interesting. Once again, apparently people that had bought their Grey Cup tickets weren't getting the emails, despite the fact that they were given the access earlier or whatever, right? Maybe it was a junk folder email. I don't know. I don't know where this email went. I don't know. Some of it is hearsay, technically, right? But apparently, yes, game ticket owners or people that purchased tickets to the Grey Cup were quote unquote given access.
No, that's not good, because I actually do remember a couple of people at the Grey Cup last year that were not even going to the Grey Cup, that they specifically went to the events only.
Yeah.
So now you're taking that away because you didn't buy a ticket to the Grey Cup? Horrible.
Well, and that is, I mean, there are going to be people in Winnipeg now. I think my bigger question is, were Winnipeg Blue Bombers fans as season ticket holders or purchasers of Grey Cup tickets, especially on early access, because as a season ticket holder, you get early access to Grey Cup tickets for it to be in your building, right? So were they given the opportunity to buy these 3-day social passes? And is that where they sold out? And then now they're releasing more to appease the obvious outcries from the fans.
But my question also was, like, is this a matter of capacity? Did they just have a very small venue that
wouldn't make sense.
That doesn't allow them to have more than what Winnipeg season ticket holders or
Right.
pre-purchasers of the Grey Cup fit, right? Is it like, why would there be a cap on event tickets? That
Yeah,
makes no sense to me.
Doesn't make any sense, especially when we're talking about conference rooms that are basically like transient centers. Yeah. Nobody stays in these rooms all day. Like I guess there probably is actually. I'll take that back.
No, people are gonna go in and out. But that was my first question. Is it a capacity issue? Do they have a very small venue and for security concerns, they cannot have past a certain amount of people in that building at all times?
No, it's got to be the biggest convention center you have because it's the effing Grey Cup.
Yeah,
like that's black and white, right?
But in my head, that was the only reasonable explanation for what they were doing.
Which is that's actually a very fair question, right? Like that's
otherwise
that could be in the realm of possibility, but you would assume not, especially when you take a look at how BC executed the Grey Cup. And I'm sorry, but each host city is supposed to one up the city previous, the previous hosts. Whoever hosted it before, you're trying to beat them. Well, you want your party to be bigger every single time.
And haven't we heard that Winnipeg's Grey Cups are pretty good before? Was that Winnipeg? Or maybe it's just the tailgate.
Maybe it could have been Winnipeg. It could have been Winnipeg. Edmonton is known to do a good one. I would say that BC had a really good Grey Cup last year. A little bit more expensive, I think, than elsewhere in Canada. But, I mean, the party's there. Calgary, I think, puts on a good Grey Cup. So a lot of these cities do indeed do a great job. Hamilton is another one as well. But Winnipeg, and I think Winnipeg has had multiple instances like this over their history. I think 2015 Grey Cup, something similar happened.
Chris does say here in the chat, the venue for Spirit Edmonton and Winnipeg Grey Cup 2015 was pretty big.
And that's what sets Spirit of Edmonton aside. Unfortunately, they do kind of have to conform to the conference room thing now simply because of cost.
I know, but what he's saying is that it was pretty big in 2015.
Oh, yeah,
no. So does that translate? That probably should translate that it should still be big. So that kind of mutes that point that it was probably a capacity issue.
Well, but Spirit of Edmonton is going to be moving into the conference rooms this year, like we saw last year, right? But yes, you are right. No, that does combat that, right? Like,
but to me, that was the only reason for something like that to happen. Like, why else would you put a cap on anything like that on a big party, where at that point you're just shooting yourself in the foot because you're not getting the foot traffic, you're not getting any of the extra stragglers that weren't so sure if they were going to go to that, but they're having FOMO, so they're going to go check it out.
But right, exactly, but you are alienating fans, and as per what we know, don't quote us on it once again, but as per what we know, single day tickets will not be offered at point of entry for the Grey Cup, right? So you have to buy these tickets in advance. Now, Jamie Fadoon here in the Herd Chat, Blue Bombers season ticket holder. I am a season ticket holder for the Blue Bombers. They let me buy the 3-day pass in the spring. So, there's your answer there. So Blue Bombers fans had advanced access to it. Don't know about general public. Apparently there was an email that went out, right? But like Chris said, Team Store has confirmed that there was priority access to Bomber season ticket holders and Grey Cup game ticket purchasers. So it's one of those weird things, right? I would assume that you want to sell as many tickets to as many people as hard and fast as possible. Like you said, that's where everybody's kind of wondering, or at least some people are wondering, is it a capacity concern? Is that why they're limiting tickets? As of right now, there's no clear answer.
Well, they brought them back.
They brought them back. Why did they sell out to begin with? Why was there a limit on them?
Well, and that's just it. I think they just made a decision for some reason or another, and then there was an outcry, and they realized that was a stupid decision, and they took it back.
As far as I'm concerned, like so far, BC's already doing better. Yeah. Like BC is already kind of trumping Winnipeg without even the event even happening.
It's just a bad look. And the same thing that they haven't even announced a halftime show.
That's the other thing.
Like, how far in advance was
Jonas Brothers? Well in advance.
Yeah, well in advance. Like, people were actually buying tickets because they wanted to go see the Jonas Brothers, and you have to buy those, a little bit in advance to make sure that you have your accommodations and everything in place. But now we're talking like a month's time.
Well, and this is what I wonder. I wonder if it's because like Amar Doman is trying a lot harder to make BC a football, make Vancouver a football city. Make BC obviously a football province, because that's what they're doing with their games as they're moving around. So he's trying to get more people tuned into his product. He's trying to make more people BC Lions fans. Winnipeg doesn't need it. Winnipeg doesn't need to go over the top for any of this stuff because they have such a big fan base and such a dedicated fan base that sells out Princess Auto Stadium. Princess Auto Stadium, yeah. But yeah, like, I mean, they have the good fan base. They have all those things working for them. They don't necessarily have to try too hard.
Yeah.
You know, they don't need to outdo BC by any means.
But still, like, at least a few things that make the whole event exciting. Like, this is not
Give us a halftime act, for crying out loud.
This is not doing any favors to the CFL and itself.
I'm
right?
like, what if it's a mystery? What if they're like, we got a mystery?
It's gonna be Sarah McLachlan.
No, please don't.
Isn't she coming to Edmonton?
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know. It's gonna be some country guy.
I hope not.
I don't know.
I don't want country. Like Jonas Brothers, that was great. Like I was, 16-year-old or 15-year-old scout eating it up, or however old I was. I would have been over that. I think I was like 20. I think. At that point.
Wow.
But, let's take a look at Chris's comment up here. I like this one. Bigger parties each year aren't as great as streamlined and well communicated details of the parties, and I like that. Let's give Chris a round of applause on that one. Yes, you are right. Consistency is nice to have, a little bit of a baseline and a standardized process, and to be able to execute that and slowly make improvements instead of just blowing it out the water, which Winnipeg did kind of go off the map a little bit with this whole socials thing. We're going to make it the biggest social, right? Like I don't hear social too often. So they are doing some things that are different, and maybe it is good. I'm not going to chirp that. Announce a halftime show for crying out loud, and
anything.
Sell as many tickets to the socials as possible.
Or something.
Yeah, something. Chris does follow up with a Blue Bombers drop the ball. So
he sure did. I think they sure did. Yeah. Do you want to go back to a couple of the questions that we had here?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, let's talk about Jamie Fadoon's question that he had earlier in the herd chat. How come Edmonton doesn't do a pink game like they used to?
So I think this is actually going to be a CFL thing. So this is more of like a CFL kind of bowing out from doing the pink games, because they used to do pink games in October, I believe.
But why?
Well, for breast cancer awareness.
No, I know, but why is this a CFL thing? Why is the CFL
because
not allowing it?
Well, they kind of dictate the theme weekends, right?
Do
so
they?
Thanksgiving weekend.
No. But I mean, just like the theme events that the Edmonton Elks have.
Well, to change your uniform on the field, you need a CFL check mark.
I see
right?
what you mean. So
Can't
it goes beyond that. It's just a whole.
And so that's where the CFL, if they want to, if anybody wants to see pink on football players in the CFL again, CFL needs to bring back the cancer awareness games,
right?
Or the cancer awareness weekend.
And they used to have them.
Yes, yeah. Brandon Zylstra, number 83 for the Double E back in the day. I remember he had the pink mouth guard and the pink gloves, I believe, pink socks. Like,
do they have the mouth guards that look like little soothers still?
Yes, and they're pink. And they were pink. Like, that was you'd love that. Let's take a look here. What else
we
do
also
we got?
have another good question over here from Pierre. What do we think of the command center making calls on the field without a review? Oof.
Garbage.
Oof.
And like that's the thing. That's what Dave Campbell's talking about with the phantom calls, right?
No.
That's what needs to stop with the game.
Well, the refs are there for a reason.
To officiate the game.
Yes.
They're there to officiate the game.
What does the command center got anything to do with that?
Well, are we going to review every play now? Because if only certain plays are getting reviewed, and if they want to cherry pick, which plays get reviewed, I think that's where we start to head down a slippery slope in terms of
betting.
Well, kind of, yeah. But I mean, like, the future of officiating, the future of the CFL. You don't want a command center, reviewing plays and calling in and changing the call on the field from the booth, from wherever. I think the Maj over at BC Lions said that the command center is in a basement in Fort McMurray, which I can tell you as a Fort McMurrayite, our people aren't responsible for this garbage, okay? Talk to Toronto, talk to Markham, talk to whoever in Ontario, okay? Because maybe Muskoka County, I don't know. No. Cottage Country, I don't know. But wherever that basement is where they do the command center reviewing, wherever that command center is, it's not in Fort McMurray, Maj. So
a question, with the new rules that are coming along with the change of the clock, how does reviewing of a play going to work? Does the clock stop?
It depends. Usually you'd see a flag on the play.
Right, and that's when it gets
now
reviewed.
They have within 35 seconds, and that's from when the timer starts to when the ball is snapped.
Right.
As soon as they set and they snap the ball, the play moves on. You can't whistle it back from there. Yeah. So it does make command center have to work faster if they want to pull that garbage later on.
Well, see, that might be a good thing. Because this whole idea of you can't be just reviewing every single call and then suddenly
why do you have refs
for a reason?
Why do you have refs?
Job.
Correct.
If you want to make sure if somebody has to review it, and it's usually the coach that wants a review or something like that, then by all means. But this garbage, no.
Well, yeah. Otherwise, the coaches would just ask for every play to be reviewed. At
that point,
got me fired up there, Pierre. Good question, man. Game
day baby over here. He does say, oh, my mouse is dying. Let the refs call and command. Just make sure they're right. That's their job. Yeah, like I said,
verifying what the refs call. Obviously, right? But even then, don't interfere on the game. People are fast to say, oh, the refs are making it about themselves. Then what do you say about the command center? Yeah. As the Moj would say up in Fort McMurray. they want a little bit of coverage in Fort McMurray. I don't know, right?
Or what John over here in the comments says is a 13-year-old eating Taco Time and drinking 7-Eleven Slurpees playing Minecraft in a Fort McMurray basement.
Getting paid. That's the thing. Getting paid and apparently getting a little TV coverage too.
Chris over here in the chat, he does say that I feel the replay center should have the ability to call down regarding major fouls. The rest should be entirely on the field officials.
Yeah, and I agree with that. If it's a major and it's something that maybe even a player could get ejected for, then sure, review it. Certain plays, review it. Touchdowns, obviously, review them.
Well, and if there's something that players don't agree or coaches don't agree, that's why they have the challenges.
Yeah. Yeah, simply put.
I feel like the command center should not be commanding what goes on the field.
Seriously, though. Otherwise, why would you have challenges? Why do you have a challenge flag if they're just going to review it every time, right? Let the refs make the call. Let the game play forward. Let the game play on.
Yeah.
And I'll even admit, I thought that was a face mask on that play near the end of the fourth.
Well, it's hard. It's hard to see. So for that one, I wasn't if the replay showed exactly that it wasn't cool.
We had at least 1,000 people booing.
Of course, because it was hard to see. Certain things like that, I think, yes. If you have to review it because it looks one way when it's actually another. That's why the command center is there to be wait, let's take a look at that again.
Sure.
But to actually stop the game and overturn whatever, or even make the decision without a ref.
Come on.
There? No. 100% no.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous.
I think that's what it was, because the ref came out after the play had ended much later and then decided to throw a flag up in the air that nobody had any idea what the hell had happened.
Because the command center reviewed it, told them to halt calling in the play, because the guy still has to call in the play, right?
No. And how many times we've seen that? I think it's been in the NFL that you think that there's a penalty and nobody calls it and thinks you just continue on because the refs didn't call it.
This is the opposite. Big Brother is watching, and they will figure out if there was a penalty on that play all the way up from Fort McMurray. And Chris does say we couldn't clearly see if he did have the mask. That's why the call was so long to make. Tough call, but the right call for that reason. Totally. And I always admit to my faults.
Yeah, for that one, it was hard to see.
Yeah,
sure.
Well, and I flagged it on the 3 thoughts, but there was many other calls. I could have used any other example.
The Tyrell Ford one, or some of the
the
roughing,
low block,
the roughing the passer, or no unnecessary roughness.
Yeah,
that was a little like, okay, come on,
ticky tacky, as we would say.
Yeah.
All right, we do have one more question here for the fan forum. Question number 2, officially. The Edmonton Elks still have 2 games left, and playoff hopes are still alive. A critical clash with the BC Lions up ahead. If the Elks lose on Friday night, do you still believe the team has progressed faster than last year's edition of the Double E? And I'll even take that further and say, let's say they lose the last 2 games here. Let's say if they lose 1 or 2 games, do you still think that this team has progressed better or faster over last year's edition of the Edmonton Elks?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. Most definitely. Yep.
Okay.
I think they've shown that they're starting to click together throughout the season, especially in the second half. They've definitely shown that they're growing. There's more chemistry. I mean, obviously, there's still parts of it that are questionable, on the offense, whether it is the offensive coordinator or certain parts of it. Defense is starting to click a lot better. We're seeing a lot more 3-phase football than we used to. We did not have that last year at all.
No. Couldn't buy 3-phase football or complementary football.
Not at all.
But near the end of the season, we were saying much of the same things. So we were saying that, this team is clicking. This team is looking like it's progressing. It looks like we should have a good team next year when we come back to Commonwealth Stadium.
Well, no.
They were 7-11 last year.
Yeah, but then you came into this year and you had almost a brand new team.
Yeah. Well, from the
faces.
Coaching standpoint, right?
A lot of the players too. We had a lot of new faces.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is that we said it before with multiple of our guests. It's still a rebuild year.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is that there were so many new pieces, new coaching, new players, new everything that you can think of, new owner.
Yeah.
Right. So because of that, it's really hard to think of last year's team at the end and compare it to the beginning of the season when it was so different.
Right. But I think as fans, we were hoping to see continuity from last year, which we did maintain some of that. It's Larry Thompson's ownership. He was putting more touches, and Larry and Deb Thompson family now, but he was still putting more touches on his team. He built the bone gym. He did certain things, right? And he was still working through the off season. He was continuing success from last year, but in a way different way, more so on the business side. Yeah. And then, of course, behind the scenes, BTS kind of stuff. As far as direct impact to the players, well, going through a new coaching staff, and then, of course, having some players swap in, swap out. Like we said, the coaching staff is obviously a major factor, but and then new offense. Like new offense, trying to figure out new schemes, trying to build a new identity too. I mean, yes, you do have some jersey change. You do have some branding changes as well. So like the team did look like they had an identity crisis at the beginning of the year. Yeah. Because you were expecting something that was a bit of continuity from last year, something that resembled the end of last year's product. But now we're faced with something that's entirely different. It starts 0-6. Edmonton Elks started 0-6, much like last year when they pulled off a 7-11. They started off the season really bad, 0-6. They 0-7 last year is even worse. Yeah. But this team truly does have proper foundations to build on.
Of course, 100%.
Proper foundations.
I agree with that. I think that the building blocks are there, and I know I said this the same thing last season. But I think that the building blocks are definitely there. There's still things that need improvements, and we know that. But just like I said during the episode that we had with Tommy Gazzola, like if we manage to start the season in the same spot that we are right now.
Mhm.
We're in a much better spot than we ever were.
Well, with
Well,
more
not ever, but for the past
under
year.
the Edmonton Elks, yes, you
Exactly,
can say
under
that.
the Edmonton Elks moniker, for sure.
Yes.
Right? So things are getting so much better that if we continue with what we have for the next season, I think it could be a winning season.
Yeah, and I mean,
And improve, not just continue, but improve what the missing pieces, of course.
No, totally. And I mean, they do need, at certain positions, they do need either a step up in talent, or they need replacements, or they need, they need different guys. And it's not that many positions. Like, really, like, running back is solid. Quarterback, hopefully we can retain Cody Fajardo and sign him to an extension, right? I think that he will be maybe trying to get a little bit paid here, but at the same time, I think that he's worth something to the organization here, where he's worth easily, obviously, like a 300 to 400K or somewhere in there, right? We do have other questions about other areas. Wide receiver, would like to see some improvement there. I think
the offense too.
Offensive line is coming together. They just got on a roll.
Yeah.
Finally, got on a roll.
But as long as they continue to improve.
Yeah.
Because we still see whether it is coaching, from the coordinator or whatever it is, it's still not quite there yet.
Yeah, I mean, offensive game plan, obviously we need to see some improvements there, I think, but they are slowly but surely starting to get there. Cody Fajardo didn't have the greatest performance, but this was a 3-phase win. So on any given night, you can have one of your phases have a rough one. The other two, you sure hope that they can bring that third phase through the tough times and through to a win.
Yeah.
And the Edmonton Elks, I mean, in this one, that's kind of what they did, because the offense wasn't exactly firing the greatest. Justin Rankin, he saved that game. JJ Ross, Cordell Jackson, even Cody Fajardo for himself for that run-in touchdown. You take a look at the plays in this game, it was 3-phase. Vincent Blanchard had 2 missed field goals out of 3, but the team still found the win. And special teams made it happen in a different way. So getting back to, the question, do I think that this team has progressed more than last year? Well, yes, I'm going to say that, obviously, because we have the 7 wins that we did last year, and we still have 2 games in hand. So this team is progressing. There's hope. This is turning around. This looks like traditional green and gold E football again.
Yeah.
And this is
exciting
what I can.
Football. This is the most exciting football I've seen.
When I was trying to sell you into being my fellow season ticket holder in Section X, I'm trying to convince you that, oh yeah, this team wins. Oh yeah, this team does awesome. Oh yeah, you go for fun, but yeah, the team rocks. Yeah, these guys get wins. Like,
I was like, where's the wins? Where's the wins?
You didn't see one at home for the first 2 to 3 years of being a fan. So yeah, it's been rough times, but you can tell that the coaching staff, the management team, Chris Morris has been doing the right things. And then of course the organization as well, getting back into the community, making the players invest and making them invest their time and their energy and their money and everything into this city in the off season, during the regular season, on their time off, on the weekends, whatever, right?
Yeah.
I think that they've been doing a great job of that. And we see Bone back. We see that family feeling. We see that community vibe. Yeah. The double E are back, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. The double E are back. I'm going to say we are all the way back.
That's bold. But let's see some...
We're back.
Some of the comments here in the chat from Game Day Baby. He does say, yes, they have progress, but not the offense. Still looks like a preseason playbook.
Tend to agree, Ken. Tend to agree.
Yep.
Chris does say, for myself, there's certainly a feeling of real progression for one reason. We know which players and coaches are back next year. Thank you, Chris Morris. You can buy a jersey. You can buy a jersey and the player is not going to be gone next year, right? Yes. Obviously, that is situational still. But for the most part, you know who the stars are on the team and you know that these guys are going to be around for a while. Jake Julian, great jersey to get. I'd hold off on the Cody Fajardo until we see an extension. But Justin Rankin is a safe bet. And he is probably the best player on the team.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what? I'm just gonna say he's probably he has to be.
Yeah.
I think by stat wise, MOP he
100%.
will be the Edmonton Elks MOP.
Mm-hmm.
Still depending on what happens with the rest of the season, but
Yeah,
it's
so
really
far,
hard to deny
100%.
Justin Rankin and what he does.
Of course. Pierre over here, he does say this organization way better than last year. Coaching staff is delivering now, albeit way late. Defense is starting to gel finally.
Defense has been on fire. The defense has been amping up, and the fact that they're running on next man up mentality and they have rookies back there.
Mm-hmm.
JC Sherritt, round of applause for JC Sherritt.
Yeah,
because he's done fantastic. He has turned it around, as opposed to the some of the statements that we've made on the Elks Call earlier in the season.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't necessarily cursing JC Sherritt. He's a legend, but the reality is that he had a slow start with his schemes, with his game planning. It just wasn't adequate early in the season, but that's also because things aren't gelling. That's also because
it's going to take time.
It's going to take time, and it is a rebuild, like we said, from the top end.
Yeah.
All right, what else do we got here? Oh, what up? I see Blake in the herd chat. What up, Blake Milton?
Pierre over here, Fajardo's a really good game manager and a great competitor. Trey Ford, if he can eventually develop, true game breaker.
Well, and I do recommend everybody to go check out my latest EST hangout. I want to say that was last Friday. Go check that one out because Jay Milne, Matthew Iwanek, Tommy Gazzola, Tommy G, and I had a really good conversation about Trey Ford and, you know, what we see. Jay Milne is not 100% sold on Trey Ford's feet, but us others do believe that he could be developed still into a great quarterback. Mark Killam today. I'll bring this up now because it's out there. I'm just stating.
End this with this comment.
With this, it's Hurdy's final thought. Mark Killam did say when asked today, somebody had asked, "Hey, Mark Killam, what do you think about Trey Ford and does he have a future with this team?" And Mark Killam did say, "Yeah, I think that he'll be a great quarterback in the CFL. I think he still has a future in the CFL." That's the exact quote. I believe that he still has a future in the CFL.
Yeah.
Wasn't this team, which was interesting. I'm just
that was a very political answer.
Very political. I mean, now when there's contract negotiations and things like that as well, that's where you'll hear a lot of that. Even the whole Connor McDavid saga, people were taking all sorts of things out of context. So I'll just say it for what it is. That's the way that Mark Killam put it. It was a very political answer. So we'll just say it's political. But I would love to see Trey Ford stick with the team. Backup two starter would be ideal, just like Nathan Rourke or many others that have made it up through that path. But I mean, as far as right now, it's Cody Fajardo's position. He's got QB1. Somebody else also said today that the Edmonton Elks gave up on Trey Ford. And I was quick to speak up and say, look, that's not the case. How about you consider the fact that Cody Fajardo was a better quarterback at that time and right now probably still is. He probably even was at training camp, but the fans wanted to see Trey Ford. We needed to find out what we had in Trey Ford, what the Edmonton Elks had in Trey Ford. Where's his floor? Where's the ceiling? And we found out the ceiling's really high, but the floor is also pretty darn low.
Yeah.
And getting better as a quarterback is raising that floor. And that's what Trey Ford needs to do in order to win that quarterback one spot back. And I think he can.
There's, I think in that situation, there's really no room for ego.
No.
The problem with a lot of that, it might have been a little bit of ego and just the fact that he needs to recognize that he still needs a little bit of development and he has a really good teacher right now.
But he's not stupid though, and he knows that, right?
Well,
like you take a look at
I mean, it's going to be really telling to see what happens in the off season or within the next year of whether he is comfortable and aware of that or
he is signed, right? He is signed.
So. He is, but it's going to be telling for sure what happens in the upcoming season for sure.
I agree. Yeah, this offseason is going to be massive, right? It's going to be really massive for the Edmonton Elks. So it'll be once again a transition point of, are we going to make the next step or are we going to take a step backwards? And I do believe in this team making a step forward. That's for darn sure. All right, let's take a look, see in the herd chat here.
I think the only other question that we have is from John. Do you guys like the 7:30 p.m. game on October 24th against Calgary as our last game?
Sure. I
Yeah.
love it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's Calgary. 7:30 is a pretty standard time for W games.
It's a
for
Friday night too.
Friday Night
so-
Lights. You get to finish the season strong with a little bit of Friday Night Lights, and I love that.
Listen, at
I
least
love
it's not
that.
a Sunday at 7:30 p.m. because that would suck.
That would suck.
I probably would not take the boys to that, but even the boys at this one at 7:30 p.m. get the chance to stay up. They don't usually get that, so that's going to be
Mhm.
yeah, nothing wrong with that. I don't think so.
I like
I'm
it.
okay with it.
I like it. I don't care how chilly it is. That's the last
Mhm.
game of the year. Soak it up, eat it in, drink
Mhm.
your beers or libations, and eat your hot dogs. Have some fun at Commonwealth Stadium. Of course, tailgate. We're going to be doing smoked ham and cheeses.
Mm.
So little ham and cheese to keep you warm. We don't have the soup to go with it. But I also
No
do
soup for you.
no soup for you. I also do have a thing to talk to you about in regards to our new Herdy's menu for 2026 because I already have it planned. So
my
I'll talk to you about that off air. I did see that Blake is chirping up here. So move on up. Sorry that we're going to have to end your playoff hopes on Friday, Blake. That's not going to happen.
Boo.
Good try. We are going to continue our mission to the playoffs.
Mhm.
And then did everyone that needed them get their Grey Cup passes? Yes, they did reopen that, Chris.
Mhm.
Or sorry, Blake. Yeah, they did open up the sales again. So I was just reading his "Miss You, Chris" down below, so that's where I screwed that up. And then game day, baby. He did say the EE's back up top, and then he did also say the OC gave up on Trey Ford and did not change anything. Cody is not a good game manager if you go 3-0 every time in the last 2 minutes. Definitely something that Cody Fajardo needs to work on. Could be an Edmonton Elks thing as a whole as well. But offensive coordinating, something that we also talked about on that episode of The Hangout, is how that playbook is simply designed better for Cody Fajardo as opposed to Trey Ford, which is something that's been very frustrating to witness as fans. So, Alrighty. I think that's it. I think we are going to go ahead and close the fan forum. It's closed. Thank you very much, everybody, for participating in the fan forum. Green or Gold, this entire episode of the Elks Call. We're going to go ahead. Shout out you, the viewer, the listener, whether you're watching on Shotgun Sports Network on YouTube or the Elks Herd on Facebook. If you're listening, could be listening on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Edmonton Sports Talk. Thank you, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Fantastic episode. This was a good one. A big shout out to Andrea and Jason for winning the judges vote. And then a big shout out to Mr. Dewar, Corey Dewar, Gary Dewar, sorry. Another one for Gary Dewar. Good defense. He tried to defend that trophy, but unfortunately, it will be going to Andrea and Jason. Apple Podcasts, thank you, John, and Oil Kings did win 6-3 tonight. So great night in Edmonton. Great weekend coming up. Big Oilers game tomorrow night, and then Edmonton Elks on Friday. And, of course, Blue Jays, I believe, won tonight as well. So once again, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to the Elks Call from the Elks Herd. My name is Scout, a.k.a. the rep from Section X.
I'm Catherine, a.k.a. Do You Even Elks?
We are the Elks Herd. This was the Elks Call, and we will catch everybody next week on another lovely edition of the Elks Call. Check you later, everybody. Cheers.
Have a good night.